Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast. I'm your host, Marta the Medium, and if you're new here, this is a space where we explore spirituality, intuition, healing, and the human experience in a way that is grounded, honest, and real, not polished, not perfect, just deeply human and deeply connected. Today's episode is a gentle invitation. I'm very excited to record this one. Today's episode is an invitation to slow down, to come into direct experience, and to explore some of the deepest questions we carry as humans. Questions about grief, loss, impermanence, the fear of death, and what continues beyond the body. We're going to begin with a simple, let's call it experiential exercise, and then I'll expand into a deeper conversation around awareness, consciousness, the soul, divine source, and what I have come to understand through my work as a psychic medium. And there's no pressure to listen in a particular way. If at any point you need to pause, breathe, or come back later, that's absolutely okay. This episode is meant to meet you where you are. Okay, let's do it. So, where you are right now, allow yourself to become just a little more comfortable. And you don't need to sit in meditation. You don't need to close your eyes. You don't need to change anything. However, if you'd like to, please do so. Unless you're driving, then please do not close your eyes. Now let's begin. Let's begin by noticing sound. What can you hear right now? It might be my voice. It might be sounds in the room. It might be the quiet itself. Just notice sound. And now notice that you are aware of sound. There is sound and there is awareness of sound. Now bring your attention to sensation. Notice the weight of your body, the contact points, your feet on the floor, your body being supported. You might notice warmth, pressure, tingling, or very little at all. Whatever is here is fine. Now notice that you are aware of sensation. There is sensation and there is awareness of sensation. Now notice sight. If your eyes are open, notice light, color, shape. If your eyes are closed, notice darkness, movement, or inner imagery, anything that pops into your mind. And again, the same pattern. There is seeing and there is awareness of seeing. Now, I would like you to gently choose one sensation in your body to rest your attention on. It could be the breath, it could be a particular part of your body where you experience the sensation, your chest, your shoulder, your hands, your jaw, something simple. And most people will say, I feel it here. And yes, the sensation has a location. And let it be exactly where it is. And now, very gently, I want to ask a question, and you don't need to answer it with words. Of course, feel free to leave me any comments if you'd like so after we've finished. The sensation has a location, but where is the knowing of the sensation happening? Notice what happens when you don't rush to explain anything to yourself. Just allow the answers to come. You might think it's in my mind, it's my brain. I'll ask the question again. Be aware of the sensation in your body exactly as it is. So we've established the sensation has a location, but where is the knowing of the sensation happening? So if you're getting the answers, it's in my mind and brain, as I've already mentioned. And of course, it is correct because we are human. We have nervous system, we have brains. We do not need to deny biology. But notice this, that thought itself is being noticed. There is a thought, and there is awareness of the thought. Now come back to the sensation. The sensation has a place, but the awareness of it doesn't have clear edges. You can't draw a line around awareness. And now I would love for you to notice thoughts as they come and go. You don't choose most of them. They appear, they pass, and yet you you remain. Even when thinking pauses for a moment, you're still here. And that's important. It shows you something quietly but powerfully. You are not a thought. You are not a sensation, and you are not an emotion. You are the one who knows. And this isn't about detaching from life, it's about noticing the space in which life is happening. So take a moment now to notice your surroundings again, the room, the temperature, the support beneath you, and gently bring this inquiry with you as we continue. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. I want to pause here and clarify something because people often use these words interchangeably, consciousness and awareness. And when I speak about consciousness, I'm often referring to our human consciousness, our thoughts, our emotions, memories, our personality, our story, our identity in this lifetime. Human consciousness is shaped by the body, the brain, the nervous system, and our life experiences. It changes, it expands, it contracts under stress, and it eventually ends with the body. This is the level where grief lives, where fear lives, where love attaches to form. And awareness, however, is more fundamental. Awareness is the capacity that knows consciousness, the space in which thoughts, emotions, and sensations arise. Awareness is not your personality, it's not your story, it is something you have to create with your mind. So it's something that's really, I guess, already here. And this distinction matters deeply when we begin talking about loss. I want you to know that grief is not a problem to solve. Grief is love responding to change. We grieve people, relationships, safety, identity, certainty. And grief shows up in the body. You might feel a heaviness in the chest, a tight throat, a hollow ache, waves that rise and fall. These sensations are real and they deserve care, but remember what you noticed earlier. The sensations have a location and awareness is holding them. This doesn't remove grief, but it makes grief bearable. You can feel grief and not be annihilated by it. Fear of death often lives here too. The fear of disappearance, the fear of endings, the fear that everything simply stops. And this is where awareness offers something precious. Not certainty, not bypass, but space. So, at this point, I want to expand this a little further. I'll have a sip of water. Okay, so let's go a little bit further. So, on a human level, our bodies absolutely have boundaries. We have skin, nervous systems, we have physical limits that matter for safety, consent, and care. Those boundaries are real and important, but they are functional boundaries, not absolute ones. Because when we look a little closer, even the physical body itself isn't as solid or separate as it appears. As you know, or some of you will know from a scientific perspective, the body is made of atoms, and atoms are not solid objects. They're mostly empty space. They are fields of energy in constant motion. They're always exchanging and changing. So, right now, your body is breathing in the world and breathing it back out again. Cells are constantly dying and being replaced. Heat radiates from you. Electrical signals move through you. Your heart generates a field that extends beyond your chest. The body is not a sealed container, it is an open system, a dynamic pattern of energy temporarily holding a form. And this doesn't make the body unreal, it makes it alive. And when we bring this together with awareness, something I hope is going to start to make sense. If the body is energy organized as form, and energy exists in fields, and experience is known in awareness, then it becomes less strange to say that the body appears within a larger field rather than containing it. So the body is not a prison for spirit, it is an expression of spirit. And that is why the body is sacred, not because it lasts forever, but because it doesn't. Some of you might have heard the phrase, we're not human beings having a spiritual experience, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this teaching points to something important. Across many spiritual traditions, there is this understanding of one divine source, one field of being, one intelligence, one love. You may call it God, you may call it source, you might call it universal consciousness. And from this perspective, everything arises from this source and returns to it. And within that oneness, there is individuality, what we often call the soul. So the soul carries essence, memory, love, and recognition. Human consciousness ends with the body, soul doesn't. The soul uses the body, it is not created by it. As a psychic medium, I want to speak honestly about what comes through during my readings again and again. from the spirit world. Death is not experienced as an ending, it is a transition. When the body can no longer sustain life, awareness withdraws from the physical form. What comes through consistently over and over again is this: there is no physical pain, no bodily suffering, no fear, no anxiety. The ego, as a defense, dissolves. Loved ones still recognize themselves. They recognize you. They remember their life, but the psychological struggle falls away. Identity softens, not disappears, softens. They are themselves without the weight of the body, without survival mode, without fear. And what comes through most strongly is relief, clarity, love, and a new perspective. And I know this understanding doesn't remove grief, but I hope it's going to change its quality. Grief becomes love, learning to live without physical form. Your loved one is not lost to existence. They have not disappeared into nothing. The relationship has changed form. Love continues. And as we close today, I invite you to return once more to direct experience. Notice your breath, notice your body, and notice that awareness is here. You're human, you feel deeply, you grieve because you love, and you're also spirit, an expression of divine source, held in something far greater than fear. The body exists within spirit, life exists within love, and death is not the opposite of life, but a doorway back into oneness. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm sending everyone so much love. Goodbye, everyone.